I'm Toby Mallory. I'm a senior environmental scientist for the state of Alabama. I have worked in the air unit for the last 20 years, and we are here at one of our particulate monitoring stations here in Montgomery, Alabama, which is affectionately called MOMS. It's an acronym for Montgomery Ozone Monitoring Station. At this particular station right here, we do have an ozone site inside the building right here. We keep them inside the building because they are temperature controlled for the equipment to operate correctly. We also have a continuous 2.5 monitor in there, and we have some particulate monitors on the rooftop that we'll be talking about earlier. Here within my unit, we do measuring of particulate or dust particles in the air, as well as various gases. They are used for what we call attainment purposes. Attainment purposes are designed to keep the air quality clean and clear for humans to be able to breathe. When we have these set limits set by the federal government that set these limits, and these limits actually or if we exceed those limits 3 times in 1 year, then we hit what's called a non-attainment status, and then we go into a whole long process of where tax dollars are excluded for the county, and we go through process of what we're going to do to clean up the air. Now we're inside the shelter, and inside the shelter right here we keep it controlled. We try to keep it between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. The idea on that right there is because we have monitors in here that measure ground level ozone. Ground level ozone, as you know, is really great when it's up in the stratosphere to keep us from ultraviolet rays, but when it's produced down here from pollution, sunlight, and heat, it can be detrimental to the inside tissue of people's lungs, plant lives, as well as animals. The equipment inside this building right here operates within, like I said, a certain temperature, and right above here is what we call a particulate monitor. It runs continuously, and it's actually sitting there analyzing its last hour's worth of data that it just recently collected. It will operate on a continuous module with a roll of film, a roll of paper tape like this right here that looks very similar when it's rolled out to this right here, and it will suck air through there at a certain liters per minute, and then it will count the particulates. 2.5 microns or smaller are what we're looking to measure. 2.5 microns smaller gets inside your lungs, and your body cannot exhume it through normal means, and it can cause all kinds of health problems, especially for those who have asthma, the elderly, or anybody with any type of lung disorder. Now, like I said earlier, if any one of these monitors right here was to ever spike and hit on 3 different times in 1 year, then at that particular time we would sit there and start looking for reasons on why that happened. Either the equipment was faulty and or there is an exceptional event. And usually that's what it is, an exceptional event somewhere around here, whether it be a grass burn, a building on fire, anything that may have put some kind of toxin in the air that's not normally happened. Some of the monitors we have are inside the buildings. A lot of the particulate monitors we have are outside the building on top of the roof. Some of them are in cities, and some of them are in rural areas, in the middle of fields for background value and whatsoever. And then that's about it. Now we're on top of the roof of the building that we was just in earlier. If you look over to my left right here, we have the down tube right here that goes into the particulate monitor that I was showing you earlier that was the continuous monitor. Over here to the left we have the ozone monitoring down tube where it sucks in there, and then right here we have what we call a 2.5 particulate monitor, and this particular monitor right here is what we do use for attainment purposes. This monitor right here, and there's a like monitor right across from it that is called a collocated sampling station. And what this monitor does right here is it measures 2.5 microns or smaller. It sucks air through the down tube right here into a filter that's pre-weighed. These filters are issued to the scientists, which load them into the monitors. They're ran in the monitors at 24 hours at prescribed dates throughout the entire state. And then they're brought back to the lab where they are weighed, and the difference between the before and the after is kind of a generalized idea of how much particulate has been collected on that filter. Now we have a whole series of checks and balances where we do maintenance every month, we do checks every month, and we do quarterly audits, as well as we have yearly audits that are done where monitors are set on a little station right here through either the EPA when they do what's called a PEP audit, or we have our auditors here in ADEM who will sit there and they'll run their little audits, and they'll check their data against ours, and they will also run the same tests that we do on a monthly basis on ours to make sure that all the monitors are running in accordance with the reference devices are saying they're operating in the parameters they're supposed to be operating in, and that all the data is in true valid data. I hope you enjoyed this brief presentation of the air monitoring unit here with an ADEM. Thank you for your time.